Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Someshwar Singh, Assistant Professor of Zoology, Vivekananda Mahavidyalaya. Today, my teaching topics is sex determination in Drosophila. Drosophila, the zoological model, and their sex is determined by not only by the chromosome number. Generally, we know that in human, sex are determined by chromosomes, particularly Y-bearing genes. Especially, male are the positive signals in which male individual or creature bear SRY gene, DAX1 gene, and these genes are mainly responsible for the maleness of human individuals. In case of birds, the chromosomal constituents mainly responsible for their sex determinations, but in Drosophila, their sex is determined by a ratio, and this ratio is number of X chromosomes and sets of autosomes. Here, the number of X chromosomal gene and sets of autosomal genes, if converted into one, the creature converted into female creature. If the ratio become 0.5, they become male creatures, and between 1 and 0.5, they converted into intersex creatures. In this slide, it was observed that the ratio become 1, the Drosophila become female. Here, two types of gene are mainly responsible. Positive signal are for females, but negative signal are responsible for male fly. In male creatures, male Drosophila melanogasters, the X-linked gene and autosomal gene ratio is key importance. Here, the red proteins are indicate the X bearing genes. When enough quantity of numerical proteins are present, they form a dimer, and these dimers become a transcriptional factor which later also modulate or modified different types of transcriptional activity, that is splicings, and they regulate alternate splicing mechanisms by which they can regulate the gene expression of early SXL genes, then late SXL genes, then TRA gene, and finally DSX genes. In case of females, the positive response are occur due to presence of numerator transcription factor, and which produced a functional early SXL proteins. These early SXL proteins also responsible for alternate splicing of late SXL proteins, and late SXL protein also responsible for transcription of TRA gene, and TRA gene also produced two types of DSX genes. MDSX creature mainly produced male Drosophila fly, FDSX protein produced female Drosophila fly. So, in conclusion, it was said that in Drosophila, their sex is determined by a ratio, rather a ratio in their autosomal gene bearing protein and X chromosomal gene bearing protein. Here, the positive signal are present in case of female, and no signal is present in case of male fly origination. That's all. Thank you.